Alright, this is John Cole with OKRaw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. I'm here today traveling in all the world. I'm across on the East Coast today. I'm here in Baltimore, Maryland. And the reason why I'm here today for, just part of the convention, because I had the Heirloom Expo. Check my other channel, Growing Your Greens, for a video more about food, or real food anyways. But I'm here at the Baltimore Convention Center for the Natural Products Expo East. And this is the largest trade show on the East Coast for the health food industry. The one on the West Coast is actually a lot bigger, so this one actually only takes me about a day to walk through. I don't know how many steps I did yesterday, probably over 10,000 steps to basically walk their aisles up and down to learn about and check out all the products here. And then today, which is the last day, I'm gonna go around and actually to my favorite booths and show you guys some new products that may help you out. Now I do want to give you guys a disclaimer, right? This is called the Natural Products Expo. So it's all about natural products. And in the title, there's nowhere the word health. So this expo is all about products, not necessarily about health food products. It just has the word products in there. And every year I come, there's so many new products coming out, just people trying to sell you this or that, or packaged protein, or there's so many different things. So I don't want you guys to be fooled by when you go into the health food store, not everything inside there is healthy. You know, we want to eat whole foods, like real food that don't need any ingredient labels, right? The products I tend to like at these events are products that I haven't seen before, or that maybe not available in food, such as certain nutritional supplements that may be hard to find. In addition, sometimes foods make things, some of the packaged products make it more convenient for you guys to get access to some of the foods that you wouldn't normally. In addition, of course, I like some of the vendors here that actually display equipment that can help you or your business actually process your food in a safe way. So I guess with that, let's go ahead and head inside and check out my favorite booths at this year's Natural Products Expo East. All right, so now I want to show you guys actually Zuma Valley, and it says next level coconut is what they got. And as you guys know, coconuts are one of my favorite foods, and I want you guys to eat more of them, but I know a big challenge you guys have is actually breaking open the coconut. I have plenty of videos on how to get open a coconut. It's really not that hard, but even then I still understand some of you guys don't want to open your coconuts, and that's where the Zuma Valley could come in. All right, so I want to share with you guys the two products I like from Zuma Valley, and basically they just make it easier for you guys to eat coconuts, right? I like to buy my own coconuts because it's always cheaper if you buy them yourself. I crack them open, I got all the machetes and the knives and the tools. I got all kinds of coconut tools. But if you guys don't want to do that, don't want to hurt your hand or chop your hands off, that's all right. Zuma Valley is here to help. And what they have is they have this basically young coconut meat from the Philippines. So this is a little bit different than the Thai coconut meat, right? It doesn't have like such a sweet flavor. So that could be excellent for using in different kind of recipe preparations. So basically they're gonna get the coconut, their guys are gonna basically hand extract, cut open, and take out the coconut meat for you. And actually it's certified organic for those of you guys that is important to their meat product. And it's basically tender young meat. And they have little samples out here, and every coconut piece that you're gonna get in the package is a little bit different. Some are a little bit thicker, some are a little bit thinner, but rest assured, basically you're gonna get the coconut meat that's actually really good. This is the kind that I would use in recipes. I don't know that you could use these in smoothies, but I think that'd be a big waste because the beauty of this coconut right here is really the texture to me, right? If you eat it, it's nice and soft. It it doesn't quite melt in your mouth because it's not super jelly, but it's not super hard and crunchy. It kind of has like actually a noodle flavor. So if you guys eat cooked noodles, I don't eat cooked noodles like ramen noodles. It's kind of like that nice soft texture. And one of the cool things is Zuma Valley has actually recipes on their website, so you can check them out. But here's actually a recipe. Look at that, man. This is coconut ceviche. And this coconut, because it has a nice neutral flavor, not sweet flavor, would be perfect to cut up into little cubes, squares, and make a nice, delicious coconut ceviche. You guys could find their recipe online. So yeah, this coconut are really mild. You could of course add it to smoothies, but then it's gonna go a little bit quicker. I would probably rather use it in different recipes to add some healthy, fats into your recipes. So that's this product. I think the retail is about $6.99 on this guy. And then now the other product, actually I kind of like more because I open my coconuts all the time, right? It's super easy for me, I have all the tools. But the next product is actually a little bit different, right? It takes a little bit more processing, and and things to do, and it takes me more time to do, and sometimes when I do this process in my kitchen, it can take some time. So oh, and I want to show you guys actually the coconut meat. So this is how the coconut meat comes. It's basically just individually frozen in packages like this. So you just basically take it out, you can chop it up or put it in the smoothies. Now this product is actually the coconut cream product, wild harvested coconuts, once again from the Philippines. And once again, this comes in a little package here, and what's going to be inside this package is just a little package of cream. So what they do in this case is they take out the coconut meat, kind of like in that step, and then they run it through an additional process to basically extract the cream. Now, cream is not coconut oil. I want to differentiate there. Coconut oil is 100% extracted fat. I'm not a big fan of coconut oil at all, and tend to actually rarely eat it unless somebody puts it in the food when I'm eating out at a restaurant. I don't use it at home, but what I do use is I do use the whole coconut meat, because with the coconut meat or made into cream, it basically has the fats plus all the different nutrients and the fibers and all the other nutrients in there aside from only the fat. So I really like the cream for lots of different recipes. Like if you're making raw desserts or other kind of desserts, you could blend up some fruits with the cream to give your fruit sorbet a nice creamy texture. And this is how this guy looks. It just comes in cream. So we're gonna go ahead and try this cream here. Man, like I haven't had any kind of dairy cream like forever, but like I gotta say, aside from the coconut cream I make at home, which the texture can vary depending on the juicer I'm using, and also can be a big pain in the what to make, this cream has an excellent texture and a nice neutral flavor. It's not like a super sweet or anything. So this is gonna take on any flavor. Wow, it's literally melting in my mouth. It's gonna take on the flavor that you add to it. And you say, John, I think these products are great, man. Where do I get them? Well, luckily, they already have distribution built in. So they've been selling it to a lot of stores already. Here's a list of them. So depending on where you're at, Gelson's, Fresh Time, Mom's Market, those you guys might know, King's. I don't even know all these stores. But anyways, yeah, check them out if you want to learn more at zumavalley.com for where you could buy this stuff and to learn more about these amazing coconut products that make it easier for you guys to eat more coconuts. All right, so the next booth I want to show you guys actually is called Seed Sheets, and I actually saw them at another trade show at the Housewares, or one of the trade shows for the gardening industry. Here today, they're actually at the health food trade show, and that's because what their product allows you to do is actually it allows you to grow your own food in your home. Super simple, super easy. Even if you've never done it before and you've been scared to start, right, for just 10 bucks, you can start growing your own food. So that's totally amazing. Let's check it out. All right, so I want to show you guys now how you could grow your own food for just 10 bucks. That's actually cheaper than some of the products I've shown you guys today. And the cool thing about growing your own food is, check this out, right? You go buy a packaged food product in the store, you eat it, and it's gone. Your money disappears into thin air, or actually goes inside you, because now it's the food that you guys bought. But when you invest in a growing system, right, and you grow your own food, literally, this thing, you put it in a south-facing window, it's gonna grow basil for you for a full season. You keep that basil cut back, you could maybe have this going for even a year, depending. At some point you might have to replant, which only costs you like a couple bucks. But nonetheless, growing your food is the best thing to do, in my opinion. That's why I have a full backyard garden, so I can grow as much of my food as possible, not only to have lower cost food, so I don't get raked over the coals when you're buying basil in the off season, but more importantly, to have higher quality food than money can even buy. Because literally, before I eat any of my basil, I don't harvest it and it goes in the fridge or goes through trucking and all these things. I harvest it and come inside and immediately eat it, so you're gonna get higher levels of nutrition. And also I add minerals and microbes to my soil to make sure I have the highest quality food with more nutrients such as protein, vitamins, and minerals than just store-bought. And of course, the flavors are so much better when you guys grow it yourself. So anyways, how this works, this is super simple. If you've never gardened before, this is the kit for you. If you're an expert gardener, right, hey, don't waste your money. Although this is kind of really fun, it's good to give for gifts because it's only 10 bucks. That's totally amazing. So this is a 10-buck kit that you see here. I mean, if this grows out a little bit longer, the basil that you're gonna get from this kit is easily cheaper than basil you would buy, because basil's like $3 for like 1.5 ounces, right? This will grow basil, and when it goes to flower, just top it off. It'll keep pushing out leaves, right? And how this works is basically you're gonna get a kit just like this, right? $10. This will be available at Aldi. For those of you guys that have Aldi, actually I like Aldi. And then Target in the upcoming season, also available at seedsheets.com. Also Amazon will probably have a kit, but it's not gonna be $10 because they're gonna wanna sell you a couple of these guys. But basically, all it is, you get a nice fabric pot in here. You get the soil medium in here, which is already has everything you need to grow in there. And basically a top for a bottle to put on like a plastic bottle here. And then you basically have the seed sheet. So you don't have to worry about planting seeds or anything. They've already done that for you here. They have a proprietary method of encapsulating the seeds, the nutrients, and everything in there. You put it on the top, and then all you do literally is you take some warm water with that special top here, and you spray it on. So we'll just do that. And what's gonna happen, as you guys can see, is this packet here is gonna basically dissolve and melt. And then what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up watering the seed. The seed is then gonna germinate and then grow into the plants. So that's like totally simple, totally easy. You guys can now grow a garden thanks to the seed sheets. And the other thing is, you know, if you want to grow more, they got big kits. So check this kit out. This kit's like about $35. And look at this basil. This basil is like nice and developed. And I really like that they put in the purple basil. You know, it's a lot more nutritious than just the standard green. So yeah, with the seed sheets, you can now have your own garden. Make sure you guys put this in a south-facing window. Super important, even the winter. You know, for basil, you want to keep it warmer. They don't like freezing. Of course, you guys could also grow these outside and then bring it in to protect them inside. But I think this would be a perfect setup, especially if you guys never grown food before. So check them out at seedsheets.com and look for them upcoming at Aldi's and Target. All right, so here's my absolute favorite processed food booth. You're like saying, wait a second, John, why you recommend processed foods? Well, you haven't seen this one yet. This is so cool because literally this is probably about the least amount of processing you guys could ever do to any of your foods before you eat it, right? And it's totally amazing. It's from actually KR Real, and they're actually the Czech Republic. Unfortunately, they don't have distribution in the US yet. So if you're one of those guys that actually imports products, owns a store and all this kind of stuff, right? This is the product of all these products in this whole place, right? This is the one product you guys absolutely need to bring in because number one, not only is it the healthiest food out of this entire show, number two, it's actually, oh my God, it's so cheap. I can't believe how cheap this stuff is. And the other thing is, it's so delicious. So let's go ahead and learn about the snack veg at KR Real. All right, so this is snack veg right here, and as you guys can see, they're packages. You're like, John, you're recommending packaged food. Well, I always encourage you guys to eat your food fresh, unless they're these foods, and they have to be packaged. The minute these come out of the package, even if they've been taken out of the package here, and they put them in these little sample cups here, and they've been sitting right, I don't want to say it ruins the food, because they're still definitely good, but these foods attract moisture, because these foods are dried to like 99% of the moisture is totally removed. So number one, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a nice crunchy flavor texture, you know, that you're not gonna get anywhere else in raw foods, right? What this food is, literally, it's just freeze-dried food. And if those of you guys have been keeping up with me on Instagram, and maybe soon I'll have some videos, but I own my own personal home freeze dryer. They're quite expensive, I will not lie. They're between $2,000 and $3,000. I'll be having more videos on them soon and actually reviewing them so you guys know more about them. But most people aren't gonna spend that much money for a freeze dryer so they could freeze dry their own homegrown broccoli. So that's where this company comes in with the snack veg. Literally, they have huge freeze dryers. I wish I had a freeze dryer this size. I think they put in like 400 kg or kilograms of food in their giant warehouse freeze dryer style. And they basically come out with 40 kg kilograms of food. So 400 kg, that's about, I don't know, it's like 1 pound is, or 2 pounds is 1 kg. So it's like over 800 pounds, and we around 1,000 pounds after the 2.2 conversion. And so they come out with like, you know, a fraction of that, like 100 pounds of the freeze-dried food. So literally what you're seeing here is concentrated food without the water. Now this stuff is actually also bio or organic. And so yeah, it's just basically 100% vegetables. And the cool thing about these guys is that this is probably the healthiest way to have vegetables on the go. You know, you can't travel with fresh vegetables, right? They're gonna spoil, they're gonna rot, they're gonna turn bad. But these guys, literally you just open up the package, right? And they have an oxygen absorber in there. You open them up, and this is what they look like. And look at this, right? This little broccoli head thing looks, if you guys look at that, you're like, John, that looks fresh, man, because when you dehydrate broccoli, it looks all gnarly. It gets kind of black, it's kind of crushed. The cell structure gets wrecked. It lowers nutrition drastically, right? Freeze drying will keep up to 97% of the nutrients intact. And I mean, it just looks fresh. And if you weren't here to see this, I mean, I could literally take this and crush it in my fingers. I mean, it literally just crumbles, right? And listen, you guys hear me crunching on the broccoli? This is so good. This is totally plain, no additives, no oils, no stabilizers. It's not crystallized, 100% broccoli. Nice and crisp. But this is, if you guys really like potato chips, get rid of those potato chips. They are pro-aging. They will age you faster than anything else, right? Because they're fried, you lose all the antioxidant values. When you eat freeze-dried foods, such as especially the broccoli, you have actually anti-cancer benefits, and these are actually will youth you and make you turn back the clock, right? Of course, I will say when eating freeze-dried fruit, so crunchy, so delicious, you definitely want to drink some water because this stuff will dehydrate you, and dehydrate you will also age you. So the cool thing about this company, besides having the broccoli, which really I've never seen in a packaged freeze-dried product, if you want it, you got to make it yourself. Well, actually, I have seen it before, but it's quite expensive. They also have the freeze-dried cauliflower. They have freeze-dried celery root, which is actually quite interesting. I tried that the other day for the first time in my life. They had actually freeze-dried beets, which are not the same as the just beets. Those are heat processed, dried, a little bit different than the freeze-drying process. This is going to retain more nutrition. They also have the freeze-dried parsley root. When's the last time you guys had freeze-dried parsley root? And they also even have like a freeze-dried Jerusalem artichokes, which actually is something I'm going to do this season once my Jerusalem artichokes are in season. The cool thing, I was told, retail price on this bag here, 35 grams, it's only $2. Man, this should be in every 7-Eleven, every Safeway if the retail price is $2. I mean, this is cheaper than like a bag of potato chips. And these are like infinitely more healthy. Now, if you guys want to get the freeze-dried fruit, which I think freeze-dried fruit is also amazing, right? Especially the freeze-dried berries are high in phytonutrients, phytochemicals, super delicious for you. Also, they're sweet. I mean, this should take the place at every checkout stand in America. Instead of selling candy, they're selling these guys. Now, these guys a bit more. They're retailing for $2.50, which is still would be the least expensive freeze-dried fruits that ever found. And now they got the freeze-dried bananas, which are kind of normal to me. They got the freeze-dried strawberries, freeze-dried raspberries, and also the freeze-dried blueberries, which is actually my favorite. And then actually the freeze-dried plums. So I've never tried the plums. I think they have some plums out here we're gonna try for you guys. Freeze-dried plums. Now these have been sitting out a little bit, so they're not like super crisp, but that's what it pretty much looks like. Skin and all, and I want you guys to eat the skin of your fruits. That's where most of the nutrition is. And look at the texture on that, man. Let's see, bite into this. So we got a little bit of crunch. I can tell it's been absorbing some of the moisture here in Baltimore since we're literally right on the water. But man, I started freeze drying my stone fruits. It's totally amazing. It's the best preservation method. If you want to learn more about these freeze dried fruits and hopefully find a distributor that has now picked them up, or a dealer, or a retailer in your area, check them out at snackveg.com. So the next booth I want to show you guys is actually Sunwarrior. Now they've been around a long time in basically making plant-based supplements for you guys, and mostly they're known for, and when I think of Sunwarrior, I mean they had this Ormus powder, the Screens powder back in the day, but more importantly, that part of their most popular and best-selling product is the plant protein product, in a package. And so I'll be the first to say that I'm not the biggest fan of the powdered plant proteins, because we can get all the protein we need from food. We don't need to take some kind of isolated plant protein. That being said, Sunwarrior has some of the highest quality products that you'll find out there, and I'm so glad that they're coming and developing new and even better products to expand their lines to help more plant-based people out. PPP, plant-based people, or PVP, all right? So let's head over to Sunwarrior and show you guys their new products this year that you'll probably want to take. So now I want to show you guys actually the new products here at Sunwarrior. The first of which, and the one that I actually personally like the most, is this guy right here. This is the Sunwarrior Omega-3. Now this is, not just Omega-3s. It's not like the same as eating your flax seeds. These are actually preformed, more complex Omega-3s such as DHA and EPA. And I've heard from people that have done studies on vegans and testing their EPA and DHA, and many vegans may be deficient in these items based on what I've heard. And so it doesn't take a lot to get this back into you, and once you supplement for a good time, it might recirculate and be in you, but if it's not there, then you're going to definitely have some issues with that. So I personally take a DHA EPA supplement currently, sporadically. Sometimes I'll eat a lot, and then for a while I won't have any, and then I'll usually eat flax seeds every day for my omega-3s. But it's super critical so that you can preserve your brain, your mental facilities, as you age gracefully. So that's all I'm going to say on that. And the challenge is the DHA oil supplement out there that you're going to find is normally, if you see it, you're going to open up the capsule and it's going to look like an oil, right? And this is about the only oil I like to eat. Otherwise I like to eat whole foods. But this oil that's currently out there, Life DHA is one of the brands, maybe there's others. But basically it's maybe extracted with hexane, and it's basically highly refined, which could be good and could be bad. But the other thing, that you're not getting are other nutrients that are in the algae. My choice would be just to get the algae that actually makes the DHA, EPA, and eat it in high quantities, so I'll be getting small amounts, plus all the other nutrients in the algae. So I'm glad to say that this is probably the least refined DHA, EPA algae product out there, and let me show you guys why. Let me go ahead and show you guys what these look like. And these capsules are like green, unlike the standard oil-looking capsules from other brands that have been highly refined. This has more of the essence of the algae, including the chlorophyll, and also these other things called polar lipids that are refined out of the other products out there. So the polar lipids, they say, because the polar lipids are in there, they're kind of like a water-soluble lipid. I got to learn more about those myself. They may increase the uptake of the DHA EPA by up to 40%, which sounds kind of incredible. I got to look at the research on that, but it sounds good to me. And I know Sunwarrior wouldn't put out some jokey stuff, right? So this is what it is, and let me go ahead and open this up for you guys. And now these are in vegan capsules, because some vegan DHA are not in vegan capsules, which I think is quite sad. So we're going to go ahead and open that up for you guys. Let me go ahead and squeeze it out and show you guys what it looks like. Look at that. That's like not like clear white oil. I mean, that's going to stain your clothes, so don't get on your clothes. And I'll take it. So I mean, it tastes kind of oily to me. This actually has a good flavor. I've tasted the other highly refined product. It doesn't taste as agreeable. It has some chlorophyll in there. Totally good. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get on these personally, and I believe that every person that's a vegan that doesn't eat any kind of fish or animal products should definitely be taking some kind of omega-3 supplement. And currently the best one I found is the Sunwarrior omega-3 product. If you want an upcoming episode on this specifically, talking about more, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Other things I want to cover really quick are the Sunwarrior probiotics. They're a little bit different than most probiotics that are out there. They have these bacteriophages that I think are pretty good, and also they're soil-based organisms. Also, they come with food in there, so instead of just being a total isolate, these capsules are also green. These are also veg caps as well. And then finally the Enzorb, probably one of the best enzyme products out there. Over 25 different kinds of enzymes in there that work on all temperature ranges that will activate in different parts of your digestive system so that you can help break down your food even better. So hopefully I'll be and this has the Astrozyme, which is specifically designed to break down the proteins in your food. So yeah, the Sunwarrior definitely makes some high quality stuff. I'm definitely going to be getting on this omega-3 product for sure. Most important thing out of all these. Maybe after that, I'd probably go with the probiotics. So the probiotics are so important. Many people these days have digestive issues. They're not digesting things well. Plus these probiotics may even help, get rid of bad bacteria that are in your gut that may cause you to get sick and increase your digestion. Of course, the enzymes also help you to digest your foods better if you don't have enough enzymes in your food, or you're not making them, in enough quantity yourself. So of course, you can visit Sunwarrior at sunwarrior.com to learn more about these products. All right, so probably my favorite kinds of booths here at the Natural Products Expo is not actually the booths that sell you guys products that you guys can eat or food products, right? Like one of the things I see every year here is basically there's so many different drink vendors selling packaged drinks in bottles and plastic bottles that hopefully don't end up in the ocean. But that being said, I want you guys to make your own juices and process your own foods at home, right? And Tribest makes healthy living easy with all the different appliances appliances. You know, right here they have a sprouter, so you guys could grow your own wheatgrass and sprouts. They have cold press slow juicers, as well as actually a brand new commercial certified dehydrator. So let me go ahead and show you guys the 2 new products at Tribest. All right, so Tribest brand new product, literally that just came out, is this guy. This is a Shine cold press slow juicer. This is a vertical slow juicer, and I like it because it's nice and small. So it's like the most compact juicer, vertical slow juicer that I actually found. It's literally 5.5 inches on its width by 5.5 inches on a footprint, so it takes very little counter space. Whether you live in New York City or the back of an RV, it's really light. I can pick it up with one hand. It actually has a nice handle you guys could pick up too, and it's about 19 inches tall. This is basically I want to call it a budget, low-end vertical slow juicer. It'll juice everything other vertical slow juicers will do, and while you can't run it for 30 minutes like other vertical slow juicers or make like juice fast quantities of juice in one sitting, you can use it for about 10 minutes. And actually on a video on my other channel, Discount Juicers YouTube channel, I juiced for 10 minutes, which is how long you're supposed to use it for, no longer than 10 minutes. I made about 48 ounces of juice, so that's actually quite impressive. That's easily, you know, enough for a breakfast or a meal replacement. The other thing I like about it, has a full 3-year warranty, backed up by Tribest, who has been in business now for over 30 years. 150 bucks, so it's the cheapest. It's the best, lowest cost cheap juicer, or least expensive juicer, actually, that I found. So if you want to learn more about the Shine, check the links down below. I'll have a video where I actually do a demonstration of the Shine, so you could learn more about it, how to use it, and if you want to buy it, of course, I would encourage you guys to support me in my work by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. That allows me to continue to travel and make all these educational videos at different farms, teach you guys how to grow your food, and of course, my OK Raw videos. So the other new product that Tribest has that I didn't even know about, that they didn't even tell me about when I got here. I always ask them, what's the new product? And they didn't really say anything. So I was walking around like, wait a second, they got a new dehydrator that I was not aware of. And actually this is their Sedona Supreme. That's like their high-end model. This is the commercial model. So this is actually certified for use in restaurants and commercial kitchens, has an NSF certification. Basically, while this may look like their older original Sedona or Sedona combo, this is the upgraded model. So, you know, number one, it has all stainless steel trays, which I really like. But then if you look in the back, it's a lot different than their previous Sedonas. This actually has one big fan instead of 2 smaller ones like the original Sedona, and one big heating element. So, you know, that, in my opinion, was the weak point of those original Sedona units. Of course, the Express also has a large fan, but this is basically like an Express model that's commercially certified. That's a lot larger. So if you guys want to dehydrate, you know, more foods than just the Express would fit due to its compact size, this is the machine you're going to want to get. Or of course, if you have like some kind of restaurant, you know, you need to have a commercially certified machine, this is it. Now, the reason why I like this machine is because it actually is all fully computer controlled. It's a lot more accurate than the analog dehydrators that are out there. It has a 2 temperature setting, so you can set it to run at 140 degrees for the first 2 hours and drop it down to like 118 for the rest of the dehydration time, if you guys like. So I really like doing that. It saves some dehydration time. In addition, it'll turn itself off after the countdown timer goes off, as well as you have a fast and a raw mode. So for those of you guys that are into raw foods, the raw mode, whatever temperature you set it at, it'll never exceed that temperature, whereas other common dehydrators on the market, you set it to 118, it'll actually go up to 128. So that's why, you know, most dehydrators are set at 105, so it doesn't exceed like 115. So yeah, this is the Sedona Supreme, and I hope to actually make a video and review it more soon on my Discount Juicers YouTube channel. Be sure to, you know, I encourage you guys always to process your own food at home. I mean, literally to me, this whole event is a processed food festival. Everybody's making nut milk, selling it in bottles. They're adding matcha tea powder to it. They're, you know, processing all these foods and making these, you know, fake cheeses out of, you know, non-animals. Actually, there's peely nut, yogurt, and so many things here. You know, what I've learned over all the years I've been in this industry and living my life is to make food yourself at home. You know, like, John, it's so inconvenient, it takes a lot of time. Well, you know, you are worth it, and that's about all I'll say about that. All right, so the next booth I want to show you guys is another booth that allows you to process your own food at home. Oh my God, this is so important, right? When you guys buy a packaged nut milk or, you know, plant alternative milk, whatever you guys are doing, right? it has a lot of different things in there. Number one, they've probably heat processed the milk in most cases to remove any bad pathogens in there. That also kills the beneficial microbes that are in there. In addition, they may have had added guar gums and stabilizers and sweeteners and these things that may not be so healthy for you guys, right? And that's why I want you guys to make your own nut milks at home. Plus, when they're shipping nut milks, right, what are they shipping mostly? They're shipping you guys water. They're purified water. Hopefully it's purified to your standards, but you don't know because you're just buying it. So if you have your own nut milk maker like the Nutramilk, will offer you actually the best nut milk maker I've tested, because it actually makes more of a whole food nut milk. Literally what it does, and I have other videos on this, I'll post a link down below if you want a full review. It's like an hour review on the Nutramilk. How it works is you put nuts in there, it basically turns it into nut butter. Once it does that, the nuts are finally broken down to a small particle size. You actually add the water in there, and then it basically adds the water to the nut butter, and it turns it into a milk. And it's the thickest, creamiest nut milk you guys ever tasted. You know, the problem with some of those, you know, nut milks that you buy in the store are they're really watered down, and to get it thick and creamy, they add things to make it thicker, which I think is kind of insane, because now you're paying for thickeners instead of nut milk. So the new thing here, and I normally like to cover the same company twice, but they have actually a new product that allows you to make your own nut butters, process other foods, and even smoothies. All right, so now I want to show you guys actually the Nutramilk with its new attachment. Now, the original attachment was set up just to make nut milk, but you could also make nut butters and make smoothies, sauces, and dips and spreads in the original one. But the problem with that is that you actually had to clean some extra parts. You know, the screen would kind of get gunked up when you're using it as a food processor instead. And now the Nutramilk could be like the ultimate food processor because it's, number one, super powerful. This is actually a commercial certified machine, so you could use it in your home, but it's commercially certified for use in restaurants and juice bars and coffee shops. They could make real nut milk for people getting those high-end coffees, right? But it has a super powerful motor, and the difference between this carafe is that it has no screens on it. So let me show you that, guys, the original one. The original one it came with is looking like this. It has a spigot for the nut milk to come out. It has the outer bowl and an inner bowl with the screens in there, so you could once again use it for processing nuts and doing all that stuff. But this new one makes it a lot easier because you don't have that screen to deal with. It's gonna be a lot more efficient in that sense, less parts to clean. The reason why I like this is because there's like these wiping blades. Have you ever made things in your food processor? Maybe you're making cauliflower rice, right? It's super popular these days, cauliflower rice. You make it in there, all the cauliflower sticks to the sides, and then you actually gotta open your cauliflower, take your spatula and spatula it down so it continues to get cut up. Well, with these automatic wiping blades, they literally spin around the container to make sure everything keeps going into the blade so that it gets processed to the texture that you totally want. In here, we're gonna go ahead and process some almonds for you. It literally takes just 7 minutes to process almonds into almond butter, depending, it can take more or less depending on, you know, the quality of the almonds you're using and where you live. But in addition to just making the almond butter, you can make any kind of butter. You know, you can make peanut butter if you want. Like here, we got some sunflower butter, 100% sunflower seeds in there. You know, you can make your own seed butters, and we're gonna show you guys, look at this. I mean, this is nice and thick and creamy. I mean, this is like store-bought nut butter quality. Wow, that's actually quite good. In addition, I mean, once you have your nut butter, you can add additional things in there to make sauces and whatnot. So they took cashew nut butter that they made in here, then after the cashew nuts were done processing, they added other like Korean seasonings, maybe Korean like pepper paste. You could add some kimchi in there, you could add lemon juice, add some dates or whatever, and you could make a nice a dip in there or spread, or if you like add more liquid in there, you could just make like a salad dressing. Super simple, super easy, all how you want it, not how the store dictates to you when you guys buy those pre-made things. Anyways, let me show you guys how easy it is. I'm just gonna hit the start button, and then we'll actually fast forward the video to show you guys the process on basically turning these raw almonds into nut butter. All right, so you guys saw the process. Basically, it ran for 7 minutes. You guys saw it like in maybe 30 seconds or something like that. And you guys see that, John, it's not nut butter yet, man. It broke. Well, you know, while I make, quote, 7 minutes, there's a lot of factors. Like here, it's a bit more humid where we are in Baltimore. If you were in somewhere dry like Phoenix or Las Vegas, it probably would be 7 minutes with this quantity. But if it doesn't work in 7 minutes, that's all right. You can see like, hey, this is not nut butter. So all you guys need to do is just run the machine longer. You could always, run the machine a bit longer than you need to have a really good nut butter. It's not really gonna hurt it so much. So we're just gonna go ahead and add another 3 minutes to it and start it back up and show you guys the process. All right, so as you guys can see, we got the butter made. My camera kind of ran out of memory earlier, so I had to stop it. But we're gonna go ahead and show you guys actually what was made here. So this is basically just like a food processor. You're gonna go ahead and remove the top here. Locks in place. We're gonna go ahead and take off the tines, and then here is the nut butter, all made fresh out of raw almonds. You could use any kind of nut virtually. And then also here's actually, once you make it, right, you could just bottle it up, jar it up, give it to friends as gifts during the holidays. And the other thing is you could also spice it up. Once you have your nut butter made, you could actually add dates in there, seasonings, hot peppers, dried hot peppers, whatever you want. So you could have actually flavored nut butter. So that's really cool. And this is what it looks like. And so like, this is the consistency, right? Look at that. Whoa. So just like the store-bought nut butters, that's quite good. And not only can you do the nuts, but you can do also seeds. So like I showed you guys a sunflower butter earlier, but with the new attachment, you can make sauces, dips, and spreads. Anything basically a food processor do, but even better because of those automatic tines that basically keep the sides scraped down for you so that you don't have to. If you guys want to learn more about the Nutramilk, be sure to visit my website, discountjuices.com. I have a link down below to my full review video of the Nutramilk. So this next booth is really cool. Most of you guys probably really don't care about it, but I know there's some of you guys that are producers, producing food products, growing cannabis commercially, maybe have a health food supplement company, you're packaging all different kinds of green powders, and you have to do different certain tests according to the FDA to make sure you don't have any contamination with salmonella and all these other microbes that could really get people sick, right? And so normally how that's done in the industry is you take your sample, you send it off to a lab, they have to do all the testing, and then they send it back to you, and every lab test you send off could be, $50, $100, maybe more depending on what they're testing for, right? So this company here, it's called the Invisible Sentinel, and this is really cool. What they allow you to do is they allow you to use this machine in-house to basically run your own tests for things like salmonella, as well as all different other kind of microbes, to make sure you guys are putting out a safe product. So especially like in cannabis testing, right, they have to test for a lot of different contaminants, and this is the machine that'll actually work for that. So it's really cool. So how this works is basically you basically take whatever you're gonna test, you basically mix up a batch, you put it in these little like test tube things that have the enzymes, and then you open this machine up and you put it in there, and then basically this machine goes to work. And what it does is basically a DNA replicator. So I need one of these for me. I could like put my DNA in there, replicate me, and make another one of me. Well, it's not gonna do that, but it's really good at replicating the DNA of the microbes. And once you have the microbes duplicated, if it's in there, then they'll get duplicated, and then you put it on one of these test strips that'll then show if you have that pathogen present, so you could have a record to prove to the government agencies if your products are safe or not. So that's definitely really cool. This is a whole test kit you'd have to buy, and basically the cool thing is the test kits, once you're all set up and going, this machine's about $6 grand. If you need to get some other equipment that needs to go with this, many places might have that, it's about 10 grand. And then these kits work out to be about $10 for each test for you guys. So if you guys want to learn more, you can check them out at invisibalsentinel.com. All right, so the last booth I want to show you guys today, I was kind of considering if I should really put it in here for you guys or not, because I don't know, I think people tend to overeat this one food product if you're into raw foods, or even if you're not, right? And what it is, it's actually a chocolate booth. It's actually called the Goodio Handmade Organic Raw Chocolate from Finland. And so this is a unique company. They've done things a little bit differently. They have a milk chocolate, actually, that I want to share with you guys, but it's not that kind of milk. And I like them a lot because, their bar, that's the pure bar, basically is 80% cacao and 20% coconut sugar. and I'm not gonna in any respect tell you guys that coconut sugar is healthy. It's a processed extracted sugar. You know, I'd rather somebody use like dates or some dried fruits in their chocolate bars, but that wouldn't really work because you'd have all the fiber in there. The other thing that I will say before I actually go up to the booth personally is that, you know, while cacao I think is a great food, I think it should be eaten in the way it's not normally eaten. So maybe like last Expo East, or maybe the one before, I actually visited a company that was actually selling cacao fruit juice. So actually I want you guys to eat the cacao fruit, not necessarily the beans. That being said, I do respect that the beans have some, you know, antioxidant potentials and some nutrients in there that can be good, but you know, I only like to enjoy some chocolate on rare occasions. This is not an everyday food for me, and my personal belief is that you should not be eating it on a regular and everyday basis. If you want to eat it as a celebratory food, or you know, once a month or something like that, I think it's perfectly all right. And then in that case, you definitely want to get a high quality raw chocolate, you know, from the beginning to the end. So, you know, they process all the chocolate at low temperatures from what I'm being told, and of course they're not using roasted cacao to make their chocolate bars. So let's learn about Goodio. So this is Goodio chocolates right there here, and these are like craft artisan chocolates. These aren't like Hershey's chocolate bars, totally way different. I have tried some of these guys and they have really nice flavor. And here's the one I liked a lot. This is actually the Pure National, so it's 80% pure National Peruvian cacao, and so there's many different kinds of cacao. A lot of the cacao that's being grown is like the cheap stuff, and then the chocolate doesn't taste quite as good. So that's what they're using here. And the other thing is they're pretty, you know, transparent about how it's produced, all raw. They also have all these cool flavors: mint, ginger, lemongrass, chai. And one of the things is a lot of the different herbs and flavorings they use is actually wild harvested, including the blueberries are wild harvested blueberries from Finland. And so we all know that wild blueberries are definitely really good foods, but it's not an excuse to eat a chocolate bar because there's wild blueberries in there and just to eat some wild blueberries. Now, the chocolate I really want to show you guys actually on the other side of the table, and let me show you guys that milk chocolate you guys could eat next. All right, so this is the milk chocolate you guys could eat. You're like, wait a second, John, I thought you were vegan. Well, I like to say actually I'm plant-based, but this is actually oat milk chocolate. This is the first time I've seen an oat milk chocolate out there. And I said, is that raw? And they said, well, technically we can't call it raw because when we get the oats, before we make the oat milk, they have been steam sterilized. So they knew that, you know, I already knew that. So you can't fool me, but you know, they're transparent with that. So actually I really appreciate that about a company when they're actually just gonna go ahead and tell you. That being said, you know, I have tried this oat milk chocolate, and it's some of the best milk chocolate, vegan style, that I've ever tried, and I like this actually flavor. This is the one with those wild blueberries that I like so much. So if you guys want to learn more about the Goodio chocolate, check them out at GoodioChocolate.com. All right, so as you guys can see, that's pretty much the end of the 2018 Natural Products Expo East this year. Places are packing up, people are disappearing. They give away like a lot of samples at the end, so you see people like walking away with like bags full of stuff, although you're just supposed to only take one. And basically I want to sum up this episode for you guys after watching this. You know, I want to encourage you guys, number one, to, you know, not buy packaged foods as much as you possibly can, right? We are in a society of convenience. We want everything fast, we want everything now. We're hungry to just go through the drive-through. Well, hey, instead of going to the drive-through, go to a fruit tree and pick some fruit, right? If you want juice, don't go to the juice bar, let them make the juice, because you don't know the quality of the produce, you don't know what happened to it, you don't know how it was juiced, you don't know the processing they did to it, the chemicals they may have added to it. You know, buy a juicer to make it yourself. If you want dehydrated stuff, get a dehydrator, make it yourself. That way you know the full process. And even like me, you know, I try to squeeze out the middleman, right? I grow my own food, I juice it, I dehydrate it, so like I do everything it takes to eat healthy. And I mean, if you really want to have the highest level of health, I think that's, in this day and age, what we really need to do, because you just unfortunately can't trust a lot of manufacturers and farmers to do things right, when basically their main motivation for doing business is to just have a profit. I mean, that's just what business is about, making money. Trust me, man, you know, coming down the elevator this morning, check out at the hotel, there's guys that are here at this event who have 6 packs of beer, there's guys with beer bellies, there's guys smoking outside. Definitely not a health food event. This is a processed food event, and I want you guys to get rid of as many processed foods out of your diet as you guys can. Eat whole plant foods, and I want to encourage you guys to focus on the fruits and vegetables, which are the best foods on the entire planet. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, want me to do more reviews at upcoming expos, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Also check the links down below in the description for previous expos I've been at, because every time I cover cool and different products, you never know what you're going to learn about. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below, click the bell so you get notified of my new and upcoming episodes that come in every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 500 episodes at this time, teach you guys all aspects on why fruits and vegetables are the best foods and how to eat more of them. So with that, my name is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time. Until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best.